Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough to be doing it too. I'm Bushka on Blitz, and I'm back to have a chat to you today about this tank here, my good mate, the JAGEROOO. This is the Tier 10 German tank destroyer, and I love playing this tank. I, in fact, enjoy it immensely, which might come as a bit of a shock for some of you, because you know I have a prevalence towards light tanks and fast tanks. And I mean, on my normal Bushka account, I have 1,600 battles in the T54. I have 817 battles in the Object 140. I have 780 in the E50M. And I also have 1,081 in the T110E3 and 890 on the T95. Now, that's just my normal account. That doesn't include the thousands and thousands of games I played across a bunch of contributor accounts too. So there is definitely a love affair for me with some of the big, slow heavies. Anytime you can hit an E100 for 1,000 with an AP shell is a good day. But this tank has some big negatives. And I want to clear that up straight away. This is a map that does not suit any tank at tier 10 that's very slow and immobile when you come up against a team with 5 mediums. And I got my butt handed to me here. I mean, I did the best in my team in terms of damage output, but it was a foregone conclusion. My good mate Cam and Lethal Weapon here from the Foil Clan, they're on the flank, and they're just farming up the damage here. They are smashing us. And it's because this is a big bag of hit points waiting to be taken when you come up against mobile tanks. When you get stuck, and you can see the teams falling around me, and I can't cover these guys. I don't have a turret, I don't have the traverse speed, and I certainly don't have the sneaky low-profile armor necessary. So things go poorly. And that's the downside of the JAGEROOO. It's got great armor frontally. You can bounce just about anything, but you get on the side and you've basically got 150 millimeters of effective armor all up along that barn thing. 157. I mean, it's not particularly good. 155. There you go. But if you can get this thing in the right position, you can use the best part of the tank, and that is the 300 millimeter odd penning AP rounds that have no problems pumping out an 800 damage round at all. I mean, 800 is your average alpha, and your HE has 1200 as your average alpha. So if you can use HE to pen, then happy days. You pen with HE, anyone at 1200 or under is an average damage roll. That Leopard 1 probably doesn't realise he's about to join that grill in hashtag deleted. Here we go. Leo pumping across, 85 millimeters of HE pen, bounce of 50. Good luck with that. 1101. See you later. That's why you drive this tank. The side of a waffle tractor, well, he's a good roll, but 1252 is completely doable. And it's a big shell. It's a big caliber shell. So when you're dealing with this tank, do not drive side onto it in a Russian medium, because you have bugger all protecting your ammo rack apart from vodka and good intentions. And you can easily be smashed by a tank like the JgPzE100. So we've looked at the gun. Let's have a little look at the armor profile. Now this is from the perspective of a T62A firing his AP pen with 234 millimeters of pen. That's red. That's all red. Like, look at how angled up I am there before he gets to the yellow. Now yellow signifies like a 50% chance of penning. Look at the extreme angles you're able to put the tank at when someone has under 250 millimeters of pen. Now, he can switch it up and he can go to heat, and that's going to definitely give him more pen. Yeah, like if I'm absolutely square on frontally, he can put a 50% chance of a shot going into the side, guaranteeing 50% chance at best if I'm hiding that lower glacis. But if I'm angled up, like, forget about it. It is a tomato. The armor profile on this thing is incredibly strong. Just so very strong. And you can see how steep my angle is there. I'm going to go look top down so you can actually get a look at how far I'm angled to that tank. Like, I'm basically nearly at 45 degrees. It's like crackers. Or 35 degrees anyway. Even side on, you've got 155 millimeters of armor on the sides. You're also, if they're firing heat, and it's one of the best side scrapers, because if they're firing heat to pen you, the sides of this tank have monstrously large amounts of anti-heat armor. Now, what do I mean by that? If they fire anywhere near the tracks with heat or HE, that is a 60 millimeter skirt all along the right-hand side there that is purple. That is spaced armor. So basically, what happens is the high explosive anti-tank shell hits that skirt, stops, and injects its liquid, its superheated liquid right into the armor, which does nothing because all that's there is 40 millimeters of tracks. And if they're firing AP into the side, they've got to go through that 60 millimeter spaced armor area. Then hopefully they hit that 40 millimeters worth of track, and then they get to a 120 millimeter side armor that is also like angled and can be at like 200 plus. So you can actually have to get 350 millimeters of pen to go through the sides if it's angled correctly really easily. Like, it's mad how strong the armor is on this. 200 millimeters shot, even 160 millimeters of flat, like the armor profile of that is a 160 millimeter bump. That's the weak point on top. 160, 150 on your butt armor, like, and that's not even angled. Like, that's just a flat armor plate. So you're dealing with a tank that has incredible armor and an incredible gun. So you can play this thing like a one-line heavy. You can drive it really aggressively, or you can do what I'm doing here, where you're just using the gun. I'm at the back on dead rail. I make no bones about it. They've got a very, very good team. They've got a guy from 101 AD. There's Canberra, and they've got Spart from ID. So they've got a great team there. There's Spartan Sword, very good player, and I'm just trying to support this flank here and get shots down the middle. And obviously, it's a very tough match. And you're going to see this is where I'm really, really methodical about the gameplay. We hit that object 140. We got the bounce. Unfortunate for me. But that's all right. You know, you get that in the big jobs. And he doesn't have a lot to go for there. You've seen just how tough this tank is to pen. And you can see the angles. If you're against tier 9 mediums, and you're going to see that in the next game. I won't let the cat out of the bag. We lined that shot up there. Spartan Sword. He was spotted. I don't know if he realised he was still spotted. And because of that, I was able to get a lovely shot into probably my number one target on the other team. Him and the T57 there of the 101 AD guy are my priority targets. There's a JgPzE100 who's done a really good job on their team. He's pushed all the way up to the top of that hill, and he's now camped up there and really putting the fear of God into anyone who pushes up. So it's been a pretty even Stevens battle for me so far. They are 2 tanks up, but I'm just really leveraging the armor profile of this tank. This is where the JgPzE100 can be so very successful. Camiro's doing the right thing in the E100. He's pushed out. He's made Spartan Sword make a big error there. Really got left out in the cold by his team. He tried to push the map, and we are now the rock on this flank. We are literally the rock that they have come up against. They can come at me if they want, but they're going to have to do it across open ground. Their E100, frustrating as all hell. And this is something that I love about Blitz. I started playing the PC variant of the game, obviously, and I found that Blitz is so quick, and this in PC is every game is like this, but longer. Every game is like this, but longer. I'm looking for a shot into the side of the T57 there that Canberra is driving. No luck. And I'm just slowly picking up my damage. Put some damage in Spartan, a couple of shots there. Got a damage on the kill shot and the mouse. Got all my hit points just about. I know there's a Jag there. We've dragged it back. We're 4 on 3 now. I can see 3 targets. It's the Jag that's worrying me. If I could just get eyes on the Jag and I knew where he was, I'd feel more comfortable driving forward. But there's only 2 minutes 50 left. I've got to do it. I've got to get up and I've got to drive forward. And what I'm going to do now is try and use that armor profile I showed you to actually bounce shots. So I'm going to push up and forward. I'm setting up a very long distance side scrape. I'll show you what I'm doing here, actually. You can see the back of that train carriage. I'm basically keeping that on my left hand, the left-hand edge of my tank from all the way back there, so that I'm not certain where that JaGeROOO is, the other JaGeROOO is, and I'm not certain who's out there. But what I'm making sure is that at all times, there is just the minimal amount of armor profile. And then as I move to the next part of the map, I'm going to move behind this bush. So if I'm not spotted, that E100 won't be able to see me, and I'll get a free shot in. And then I'll move along the edge of the next railway carriage, highlighting on the right-hand side of my tank. So it's super flat. There's very, very little chance that I'm going to get shot from anywhere here. He tries to hit me under the rail, but poor old Jam Roll gets in a very, very tight... Aha! We see the other nasty up the top there, and he's obviously going to move because this is a very big tank, and he doesn't know where I am at that point in time. I'm just spotted again. I'm now pushing up because I'm trying to get rid of the 101 AD guy, and there's only a minute 30 left, and the rubber has really met the road here. I set the shot up. He doesn't have a lot of choice. He's got to pull back, and you can see the whole time I'm moving up, I'm making decisions. Now, I've got to get into that JaGeROOOO. The reason I want to take him out more than anyone else, I'm looking for a big HE roll into the back of this guy, and we blow it. I only get 550, but I'm going to then turn around and kind of ignore the 62A because I'm about the easiest shot the team has of getting rid of this JgPzE100 because basically the size of my gun, it has 299mm of pen on its AP rounds. It's got 420mm of pen on its heat rounds. And that means that if anyone's going to pen this guy, I'm the best chance. And you can see the angle I'm at. That severe angle really screwing with that guy's aim. I'm just going straight to heat. We're not mucking around here. I don't really worry about the 62A. And I ignore the 62A because I can more or less just... You know, the JaGeROOOO is the issue. I'm a one-shot for him right now on AP. And he gets me... And you're going to see me do that in the next game with the Leopard PTA for good reason. Now, this is very, very tense. Obviously, there's 15 seconds left. And this is where the new 57 Heavy with a 2.5 second reload is freaking amazing. Nevermore walks up and just taps both those guys. He has a really good game, this guy. I think he actually gets about 4.5k. Let's have a look. I get 5,268. And that T57 Heavy picked up 4,158. So, yeah, very, very solid effort. And also, Cam went very well there. He supported it and spotted. This is where I love using the tank. As a pseudo-heavy down the one corridor of a very, very interesting map. One of the few places left for heavy tanks to really get involved and duke it out mano a mano. That E75 and the other team is going to push all the way up. Again, remember what I did with that heavy, that jam roll bloke in the last game, where I basically stuck behind here until I could come out and get the good shot, and then I got spotted. That's what we do with the E75, and then I tap him once, the E100, the 183 taps him the other time, and that's his hit points gone. That's two really big swingers doing the business. Now, again, I'm moving, side-scoping from one to the next. I set the shot up into the side of the T57 Heavy, and we get a gorgeous 1,221 roll on the damage there with the fire included. And now I'm angling up off the next corner. Just keeping it ready. Got the HE ready for that guy. Yes! How do you like them apples? 5120. Yeah, the gun on this is absolutely phenomenal, hey. Does so many good things. I get very, very lazy in a sec. You're going to see why that is. But I also probably exploit something that a lot of people wouldn't realize because they don't have the knowledge that I have because they haven't done so many videos. The Leopard PTA is running the 9cm gun, the 90mm gun. What does that mean? Well, you've already seen the gameplay, and you've seen the armor profile, and you've seen how hard it is to get penned by a tank with low penetration numbers. That 90mm the PTA does, because I've done a stock to rock video for that PTA. That's got like 212, 215mm of pen. And I can tell, not just because of the way the gun looks, because you can see there when he fires, it says 225. Which means it's only doing 225 alpha damage. It's not the 105mm gun. It's the low-end gun. This Object 704 this is the lazy part. This right here. Oh my goodness. Just zoom the scope in and kill the dude. Okay? I'm still completely ignoring that Leo. He's really going to struggle to get anything into me. You can see the extreme angle. 563. The Object had to fire Premo. We get another one into him. And now we just need a low average roll and this Leo's done. So we don't muck around with the HE or anything. Nothing fancy. We just keep angling up, getting the bounce. I know he's got no penetration. Not fussed. Just one left. and it's me and the 140 Mano. Now, you've seen why I love this tank. It is literally like a heavy tank, a proper big, angry, heavy tank in a one line. And by one line, I mean down the one axis of the map. You know, you have alphanumeric axis, S, X, and Y. And this is straight down the heavy line. And I love the gun for that because you can angle up, you can get a shot bounced, you can then turn out and you take nearly 1,000 hit points on an average alpha roll, like 800. I mean, not 1,000. That's a big call. I'm setting up here for this 140. I switched between heat and AP, and then decided on heat on AP because if he comes in from over here, I may have to hit one of these objects, and also if I hit his tracks, that'll save him. Nice shot here, by the way, from that RJA 11256 to get that in on the move like that. But I was pretty certain he was going to push in from over there. There's the mastery badge, 6,129 damage. Just a monster tank. So much fun, so much joy, such a giggle fest, and you know, it's extremes. It's really, really good, or it can be really, really tough. I know a lot of people don't like the TD videos. I know Sanimal doesn't do the TDs, Snake Eyes doesn't do the TDs, and they don't like that lack of mobility, that enforced play style where you don't get to make all the decisions. But at the same time, if you can start judging the character of the game very well, figuring out when there is an opportunity there to intimidate, and believe me, you will intimidate people in this tank. No one likes seeing this thing coming at them around the corner. It's not any fun whatsoever. You will start doing some serious business on the battlefield. I'm Bushka on Blitz. Love your work, guys. Hope you're watching the streams. The Twister Cup tournaments for Asia and NA are on at the moment. I don't know when this video is going to drop. I've been storing up a few videos in advance of some overseas trips I'm going to have to take before the end of the year. Obviously going to Las Vegas for the Mobile Masters, the Amazon Mobile Masters. But apart from that, there may be other things going on. I'm Bushka on Blitz. Love your work. Stay safe on the battlefield.